Imagine a country where the land itself is a human invention, where millions of people wake up every morning on ground that, by all natural rights, should be underwater, where bicycles outnumber citizens, where a nation smaller than the state of West Virginia feeds a significant portion of the world. This is the Netherlands, a country of 17 million people packed into 41,000 square kilometers, one of the most densely populated nations on Earth. Yet somehow, it doesn't feel crowded. It feels designed, intentional, earned. The Dutch didn't inherit their homeland, they built it. For centuries, they have waged a quiet war against the North Sea, and they have been winning. But the Netherlands is far more than windmills and tulips and canals. It is a society that has turned pragmatism into an art form, a culture that values directness over politeness, a people who have learned, through generations of collective survival, that the only way to live below the sea is to live together. From the cobbled streets of Amsterdam to the cutting-edge skyline of Rotterdam, from the silent Wadden Islands in the north to the rolling hills of Limburg in the south, from the green heart of Utrecht to the fishing villages of Zeeland, every corner of this country tells a different story. And at the center of every story is a question. How do you build a life on land that nature never intended for human habitation? The answer reveals something profound, not just about the Dutch, but about what it means to call a place home. The first thing you need to understand about the Netherlands is simple. More than a quarter of the country lies below sea level. Let that sink in. Without an intricate system of dikes, dunes, pumps and barriers, 65% of the nation would be underwater at high tide. Amsterdam's airport, Schiphol, sits 4 meters below sea level. The city of Rotterdam, Europe's largest port, exists in a perpetual negotiation with the water that surrounds it. This is not an accident of geography. It is a triumph of engineering. The word Netherlands literally means low countries. And for over 1,000 years, the Dutch have been pushing back the sea, draining lakes, and creating land where none existed. They call this reclaimed land polders, vast tracts of fertile earth surrounded by dikes, kept dry by a network of canals and pumping stations. In the province of Flevoland, an entire region was lifted from the bottom of what was once the Zuiderzee, now the freshwater IJsselmeer. This is land that didn't exist a century ago. Today, over 400,000 people live there. Along the coast of Zeeland, in the southwest, the delta works stand as one of the modern wonders of the world. After the catastrophic flood of 1953, which took over 1,800 lives, the Dutch decided they would never let the sea win again. They built a series of dams, barriers, and storm surge gates so formidable that the American Society of Civil Engineers named it one of the 7 wonders of the modern world. In the northern province of Friesland, the Wadden Sea stretches toward the horizon, a UNESCO World Heritage Site where the line between land and water blurs with every tide. Here, you can walk across the seabed at low tide, a practice called wadlopen, navigating channels of mud and water that shift with every season. The Dutch landscape is flat, remarkably flat. The highest point in the country, the Valserberg in Limburg, rises just 322 meters above sea level. This flatness creates a unique quality of light. The sky in the Netherlands feels enormous. Unbroken by mountains or hills, it stretches in every direction, painted constantly by clouds swept in from the Atlantic. It is a landscape that demands cooperation. Water does not respect borders or property lines. For centuries, the Dutch learned that survival required working together. Farmers, merchants, engineers, and politicians, all bound by the same fundamental truth. If the dikes fail, everyone drowns, rich and poor alike. This lesson runs deep in the Dutch character. It shaped their politics, their economy, their social contract. In a country where the land itself is a shared project, individualism has limits. The polder requires consensus. Morning in the Netherlands begins on 2 wheels. Before the sun fully rises over Amsterdam, the bike lanes are already moving. a quiet river of riders, students, executives, parents with children balanced on front seats, flowing through streets designed for them. The Netherlands has more bicycles than people. 23 million bikes for 17 million citizens. In cities like Utrecht and Groningen, more than half of all trips are made by bicycle. This is not a fitness trend. It is simply how life works. A typical Dutch morning starts early and efficiently. By 7:30, kitchens across the country are busy. Breakfast is modest. Bread with cheese or chocolate sprinkles called hagelslag, a glass of milk, perhaps a boiled egg. Coffee is serious business. The Dutch drink more coffee per capita than almost anyone else in the world. By 8:30, the rhythm of the working day begins. In the Randstad, the horseshoe-shaped urban corridor that connects Amsterdam, The Hague, Rotterdam and Utrecht, trains run with precision. Stations like Utrecht Centraal, the busiest in the country, hum with hundreds of thousands of passengers every day. But here's something that surprises many outsiders. The Dutch work shorter weeks than most of Europe. The average work week runs about 32 to 36 hours. Part-time work is deeply normalized. By 4 or 5 in the afternoon, offices empty out. The evening belongs to family, friends, and personal time. Lunch is famously efficient. The Dutch are practical eaters during the day. A brunch, a simple sandwich, eaten at the desk or in a park. Nothing elaborate. The hot meal comes in the evening, and even that is often simple. Meat, potatoes, vegetables. A tradition inherited from a culture that never saw the point in overcomplicating dinner. After work, life shifts outdoors. Parks fill up, terraces spill onto sidewalks. In every city, the sound of glasses clinking marks the start of the borrel, the Dutch equivalent of after-work drinks, but more ritualized. A beer, a glass of wine, some bitterballen. It's not about excess. It's about transition, the boundary between work and life. By evening, the streets grow quiet. Dutch cities don't stay up all night. Shops close by 6. Dinner happens early. By 10 o'clock, most neighborhoods are still. The rhythm is steady, predictable, and the Dutch like it that way. There's a word for this. Rust. Calm. Order. The feeling that things are under control. In a country built on the edge of disaster, control is not a luxury, it is a way of life. Walk along the canals of Amsterdam's Jordaan district and you'll see them, the iconic canal houses. Tall, narrow, impossibly charming. Their gabled facades leaning slightly forward, not by accident, but by design. A hook at the top of each building allowed furniture to be hoisted up from the street, because the staircases inside are too steep and narrow for anything larger than a person. These houses tell a story. They were built in the Dutch Golden Age, when Amsterdam was the wealthiest city in the world. But they also reveal something deeper about the Dutch relationship with space. In one of the most crowded countries on Earth, every square meter counts. Rooms are compact, storage is clever, natural light is treasured. But Dutch homes are not just architectural curiosities. They are vessels for something the Dutch call gezelligheid. Gezelligheid has no direct English translation. It means something like coziness, but deeper. It's the warmth of a room lit by candles on a winter evening. The feeling of sitting with friends around a table, time suspended. It is the emotional architecture of Dutch domestic life, and it matters more than square footage. Dutch families tend to be small and close-knit. Children are raised with a remarkable degree of freedom and independence. You'll see toddlers cycling alongside their parents in bike seats, then graduating to their own small bicycles. By the time a Dutch child is 8 or 9, they're often cycling to school alone. This is not neglect, it's trust. A society built around safety allows children to grow up with confidence. The Dutch home is open in ways that surprise newcomers. Walk through any residential neighborhood in Utrecht or The Hague at dusk, and you'll notice something unusual. Curtains are often left wide open. Living rooms glow onto the street. Inside, families eat dinner, watch television, read books, all visible to passers-by. This is not an invitation to stare. It's a statement. We have nothing to hide. In a Calvinist culture that values transparency and honesty, the open curtain is almost a moral posture. Family life revolves around the evening meal. Dinner is served early, often by 6, and everyone sits together. The Dutch talk at dinner. They debate. They ask about each other's day. Children are included as full participants in conversation. The home is the center of Dutch life. Not the office, not the cafe, the house. It is where Gezelligheid lives. Dutch cuisine is not famous for being extravagant, and that's exactly the point. The traditional Dutch kitchen is built on simplicity. Hearty, warm, filling food, the kind that sustained farmers, fishermen and sailors through long northern winters. Stamppot, mashed potatoes mixed with kale or sauerkraut, served with a smoked sausage. Everton soap, thick pea soup, dense enough to stand a spoon in, eaten after skating on frozen canals. These are not dishes designed to impress. They are dishes designed to sustain. But Dutch food culture is far more interesting than the stereotypes suggest. Walk through the open-air markets of Rotterdam or The Hague, and the first thing you'll notice is the fish. Raw herring, served with chopped onions and pickles, eaten by holding the fish by the tail and tilting your head back. This is herring happen, herring biting, and it's a national ritual. Fresh from the North Sea, the first catch of the season is celebrated like a holiday. Then there is cheese. Dutch cheese is world famous for a reason. The city of Gouda, yes, the cheese is named after the place, has been trading its namesake wheels since the Middle Ages. In Alkmaar, the cheese market still runs as it did centuries ago, with traders in traditional white uniforms carrying cheese wheels on wooden sledges. But beyond the spectacle, Dutch cheese culture is deeply embedded in daily life. A slice of cheese on bread is breakfast, lunch, and sometimes dinner. The Netherlands' colonial history left an indelible mark on its food. From Indonesia came the rijsttafel, rice table, a feast of small dishes, spices, and flavors that exploded into Dutch culture after World War II. Today, Indonesian food is so woven into Dutch identity that many consider it native cuisine. In every city, from Groningen to Maastricht, you'll find Indonesian restaurants serving satay, rendang, and nasi goreng. Street food tells its own story. Bitterballen, deep-fried balls of beef ragu, crispy outside, molten inside, are the essential companion to a beer. Stroopwafels, 2 thin waffles sealed with caramel syrup, are best eaten warm, placed over a hot cup of coffee to soften the filling. In the winter months, oliebollen, deep-fried dough balls dusted with powdered sugar, appear at street stalls across the country. The Dutch relationship with food reflects their broader culture. Practical, unpretentious but deeply comforting. They don't need to perform at the table. They just need to be together. The Netherlands is an economic miracle hiding in plain sight. This tiny nation is the world's second largest exporter of agricultural products by value, behind only the United States, a country more than 200 times its size. How? The answer lies in the flat green landscape of South Holland, where vast greenhouses stretch to the horizon. In the Westland region, between The Hague and Rotterdam, Dutch farmers have transformed agriculture into a precision science. Tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers grow under artificial LED lights, pollinated by bees, watered by systems that use 90% less water than traditional farming. These greenhouses produce astonishing yields year-round, feeding markets across Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. Then there is the port of Rotterdam, the largest seaport in Europe. Over 435 million tons of cargo pass through here every year. Oil, containers, grain, chemicals, arriving from every corner of the globe and flowing into the arteries of the continent. The port doesn't just serve the Netherlands, it serves all of Europe. In Eindhoven in the south, a different kind of economy hums. This is the brain of Dutch technology. Philips was born here. ASML, the company that builds the machines that make the world's most advanced microchips, is headquartered nearby in Veldhoven. The region is a hub of engineering, design, and innovation, proof that Dutch ingenuity extends far beyond water management. The Dutch labour market is built on a concept called the polder model. It's a system of consensus. Employers, unions, and government sitting down together, negotiating wages, working conditions, and economic policy. Strikes are rare. Confrontation is avoided. The goal is always a deal that everyone can live with. Unemployment hovers around 4%. Wages are solid. But the real story is work-life balance. The Dutch work fewer hours than almost any other developed nation, yet their productivity per hour is among the highest in the world. They simply waste less time. Meetings are shorter, decisions are direct, lunch breaks are brief. This efficiency creates space for family, for cycling, for sitting on a terrace with a beer as the sun sets over a canal. The Dutch have figured out something that much of the world is still chasing. You don't need to work more hours to build a prosperous life. Once a year, the Netherlands turns orange. King's Day, Koningsdag, is unlike anything else in Europe. On April 27th, the entire country becomes a street party. Amsterdam transforms into a sea of orange clothing, orange wigs, orange face paint. The canals are packed with boats blasting music. Every square becomes a flea market as ordinary citizens lay out blankets and sell their old possessions, a tradition called Vrijmarkt. It's messy, joyful, and deeply democratic. But Dutch social life isn't usually this chaotic. Most of the time, it operates on a different principle: planning. If there is one thing that bewilders newcomers, it's the Dutch calendar. Social engagements are scheduled weeks in advance. A spontaneous coffee? Unlikely. A dinner party? You'll find it in the agenda, probably booked 3 Thursdays from now. This isn't coldness, it's respect for other people's time and a cultural preference for order that runs centuries deep. The Dutch are direct, famously direct. They say what they mean and they expect you to do the same. Compliments are earned, not given freely. Criticism is delivered without sugarcoating. To outsiders, this can feel harsh. To the Dutch, it's a form of honesty, and honesty is the highest form of respect. Religious traditions still pulse beneath the surface of this deeply secular nation. Sinterklaas arrives in mid-November by steamboat from Spain, a tradition that fills children with excitement and adults with nostalgia. Families gather on December 5th to exchange gifts, often accompanied by poems that gently tease the recipient. Christmas follows later in the month, quieter and more family-focused. In the southern provinces of Limburg and North Brabant, Carnival turns the world upside down for 5 days before Lent. Towns rename themselves. Parade floats roll through streets. Costumes transform ordinary citizens into fantastical characters. It's loud, irreverent, and a reminder that not all of the Netherlands is Calvinist and restrained. And then there's the skating. When a hard freeze hits in winter, something electric happens. The canals freeze over. Ice fever grips the nation. Everyone, young and old, pulls out their skates. The dream is the Elfstedentocht, the 11 Cities Tour, a 200-kilometer skating marathon through Friesland that hasn't been held since 1997 because the ice hasn't been thick enough. But the hope never dies. Every cold snap brings the question, will this be the year? For all its prosperity, the Netherlands faces real and deepening struggles. The housing crisis has become the dominant issue of this generation. In Amsterdam, the average home now costs well over €500,000. In Utrecht, Rotterdam and The Hague, prices have soared beyond the reach of ordinary families. Young people live with their parents longer than ever. Students wait years for affordable rooms. The country is short by hundreds of thousands of homes, and construction isn't keeping pace. The problem is simple geometry. The Netherlands is small, densely populated, and constrained by the very water management that makes it livable. You can't just build anywhere. Every new development requires complex engineering, environmental assessments, and years of planning. Then there is the nitrogen crisis. Dutch agriculture, the source of so much national pride and economic strength, produces enormous amounts of nitrogen emissions. The government has been forced by court orders to drastically reduce these emissions, pitting farmers against regulators, rural communities against urban policymakers. Protests have been massive. Tractor convoys have blocked highways. The tension between agricultural tradition and environmental necessity is raw and unresolved. Climate change presents an existential question. The country that mastered water now faces rising seas on an unprecedented scale. The delta works are formidable, but will they be enough as oceans rise and storms intensify? Every few years, a new report emerges, and the numbers get more sobering. The Dutch are already planning for a future where parts of the country may need to be returned to the water. There's also a quiet loneliness. The Netherlands ranks high on quality of life indexes, but mental health struggles are real. The same efficiency that makes Dutch society work so well can leave gaps in human connection. The directness that is refreshing can also be isolating. Making deep friendships as an outsider, or even as a native, can take years. Aging is another front. The population is growing older. Healthcare costs are rising. The pension system, once the envy of Europe, is under strain. The generations that built the welfare state are now depending on fewer and fewer young workers to sustain it. These are not problems with easy answers. But the Dutch have faced impossible challenges before, and they have a long memory for survival. The Netherlands is a country of two worlds, sometimes occupying the same street. In Amsterdam's Zuidas district, gleaming glass towers house global banks and law firms. Young professionals in sharp suits hurry between meetings, phones in hand, speaking English as often as Dutch. This is one Netherlands, cosmopolitan, competitive, plugged into the global economy. 2 hours north, in a Frisian village, a farmer rises at dawn to milk cows that have been in his family for 4 generations. He speaks Frisian, a language older than Dutch, and his children learn it in school alongside the national tongue. This is another Netherlands, traditional, rooted, carrying forward a way of life that predates the nation itself. The tension between these worlds shapes modern Dutch identity. In the Randstad cities, English is everywhere. International students flood universities in Amsterdam, Leiden, and Utrecht. Startups recruit talent from around the world. In some Amsterdam neighborhoods, you're more likely to hear English, Arabic, or Turkish than Dutch. For many young urban professionals, the Netherlands is a platform, not just a homeland. But beyond the Randstad, the country feels different. In Drenthe, sheep graze near prehistoric burial mounds called hunebedden, stone structures older than the pyramids. In Zeeland, fishing communities still use techniques passed down through centuries. In the Veluwe region of Gelderland, vast forests and heathlands offer a silence that seems impossible so close to Europe's busiest cities. The generational divide runs deep. Older Dutch people remember a more homogeneous society. Younger Dutch people have grown up in a country that is one of the most diverse in Europe. Rotterdam, in particular, is a majority-minority city. More than half its residents have a migration background. This diversity has reshaped everything from food to music to politics. Technology is embraced with typical Dutch pragmatism. Digital payments are near universal. Government services are online. But traditions endure. Markets still run on the same squares they have occupied for centuries. Cheese is still made by hand in small farms across the countryside. The bicycle, a piece of 19th century technology, remains the most modern way to move. The Dutch have a word for this balancing act: nuchterheid, sober-mindedness, the ability to embrace change without losing yourself in it. So why do people stay? 17 million people choose to live in a country where the ground is lower than the sea, the weather is famously grey, the housing is impossibly expensive, and the people will tell you exactly what they think about you without hesitation. The answer is not one thing, it's everything. It's the freedom of cycling through Utrecht on a Tuesday morning, past medieval canals and modern cafes, knowing you're breathing cleaner air because the cars stayed home. It's the feeling of safety. Children walking to school alone, doors unlocked. A society where trust is built into the infrastructure. It's the work-life balance, 4-day work weeks, 5 weeks of vacation, an expectation, not just a policy, but a cultural value, that life exists outside the office. Parents pick up their children from school. Friends meet for coffee in the middle of a weekday. Time is not something you steal from your employer. It belongs to you. It's the tolerance. The Netherlands was one of the first countries in the world to legalize same-sex marriage. It has been a refuge for thinkers, artists, and dissidents for centuries, from Descartes to Spinoza to the present day. The live and let live ethos is not just a slogan. It's embedded in the legal system, the urban design, the daily interactions between strangers. It's the water, the very thing that threatens this country, and the deep pride in having mastered it. Every Dutch person grows up understanding that they live on borrowed land. This creates a shared identity that transcends politics, religion, and class. We made this place together. We keep it dry together. It's the small pleasures, a warm stroopwafel at the market, ice skating on a frozen canal in a rare cold winter, the first herring of the season, the golden light of a late summer evening that seems to last forever. Sitting on a terrace with friends as the bicycles stream past. It's gezelligheid, the word that means everything and nothing. The feeling of being home, of being together, of being exactly where you're supposed to be. The Dutch didn't choose their geography. They inherited a swamp and turned it into one of the most prosperous, livable countries on earth. That same stubborn, collaborative, pragmatic spirit still defines them. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, the Netherlands offers something rare, a society that works. Not perfectly, not without struggle, but deeply, fundamentally, humanely. And for the people who call this small, wet, extraordinary country home, that's enough. That's everything. If you could wake up tomorrow anywhere in the Netherlands, Amsterdam's canals, a farmhouse in Friesland, a Rotterdam high-rise, or a quiet village in Limburg, where would you choose? One word in the comments below.